Well, hello, Apologia World. This is Davis Carmen coming to you live Tuesday at 2 o'clock. This is our normal time. It's October 17th, 2017. And once again, you are finding yourself with me in my basement. Last week, we posted a meme showing a proof that 1 equals 2. And of course, that would have amazingly negative ramifications in the world if 1 suddenly equaled 2 and we could prove it. And we had the steps to show that. Last week I went through that in a video as well to show the steps, and I even specifically said that the very first step is not the fallacy. So many of you caught on, and so kudos to you. Excellent work, all you mathematicians out there. And so what I want to do right now is very briefly show you where the fallacy is in this fun little trick that quote-unquote proves 1 equals 2. So the very first step, A equals B, a lot of people would say, well, A is not B, so A cannot equal B. Well, in algebra, A can equal B. That is not an erroneous statement. That's not a fallacy in any way. For instance, if A was equal to 5 and B was equal to 5, well, then A equals B because 5 equals 5. So A could even be 2 squared plus 3. And if B was 7, well, 2 squared plus 3 equals 7, A equals B. So that's not the fallacy. As you go through the rest of this, it's all normal algebra. So there's nothing strange that happens until we get to the very end. So in the first step, I just multiplied both sides by A. If you multiply the left side by A and multiply the right side by the same thing, A, that is fine and dandy. You're allowed to do that. This step is just simplifying it. A times A is A squared. So easy enough there, no sleight of hand. The next step, okay, in this one, we multiplied both sides by A. In this one, we're adding A squared to both sides. So I added A squared to this side, added A squared to this side. So now A squared plus A squared equals A squared plus AB. Again, no magic going on, no trickiness. I'm not doing any smoke and mirrors. And this is just simplifying that. A squared plus A squared is 2A squared. All right, that's normal algebra. Nothing going on. Of course, this looks identical. So nothing wrong or erroneous or fallacious has gone on thus far. Let's continue. So we multiplied both sides by the same thing. We added both sides to the same thing. Now we're going to subtract 2AB from both sides. You're allowed to do that. I just randomly chose minus 2AB on this side. Well, I've got to do the same thing on the other side. If I do that, everything's still cool. All right, so let's continue on this journey. Here I just simplified. So AB minus 2AB, you got a positive 1, a negative 2, so you get a negative AB. Again, normal, basic, pre-algebra, algebra to get there. This step is doing nothing but pulling out the common factor. So you got a 2 in both of these. I pull that out, parentheses, A squared minus AB shows up, which you'll notice is the same thing I got on the right side. So now here's where we have to be careful and watch what's going on. At this point in the quote-unquote proof, I divided both sides by A squared minus AB because it's common on both sides. So if I divided both sides by that, then it appears as though those cross out. Anything over itself is 1. Anything over itself is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. And it appears as though 2 plus is equal to 1. But right here is the fallacy. Because I can divide both sides by this unless the denominator, what's on the bottom, is 0. So what I actually did right there is I actually took 0 divided by 0 because you got to remember the very first step. A is equal to B. So if A is equal to B, then A squared minus AB is 0. I got 0 on the top, I got 0 on the bottom. That is undefined. 0 divided by 0 is not allowed, undefined. Therefore, 2 is not equal to 1, and we just saved the world and amazed your friends at the same time. So I hope you all have fun with that as you do that with some of your friends and try and get them to think about it, figure it out. But then also at some point you can show just how smart you are with math and show them the fallacy, because you're not allowed to divide by 0. All right, it's great being with y'all in the basement of the Carmen Family Homeschool. All right, I'm walking by faith with you and enjoying the homeschooling adventure of a lifetime.